find yourself in this all too common scenario? You're online listening to people talk about books and someone mentions a book and you go, oh, that sounds so interesting. I should read it. And so you do, and you love the book, and you go to the internet looking for people talking about the book. But the book came out 5 years ago and no one's really talking about it anymore. If you find yourself in this scenario, please know that you are not alone. Hi, I'm Margaret, and I suffer from this problem as well. Hello, my lovely friend. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to me trying to change some of my reading habits or get back in certain reading habits, because it's been a while since I've actually made, I want to say it's been like at least 3 years since I actually made a highly anticipated releases video. And while that's a perfectly fine thing to do, like, you don't have to be keeping track of new releases, I also want to be able to talk with people about these books, and sometimes, you know, the conversation has died down by the time I get around to them. Long story short, I am here with 15 new releases that are coming out this summer that I am super excited for, and I don't know, I think you might be excited for them too. Starting with June 3rd, we have 3 new releases that I am looking forward to. The first of them is The Unmapping by Denise S. Robbins. This is an adult science fiction. It's set in New York City, and it's like this really interesting, also like kind of anxiety causing, like, did not have this fear. Now thinking about it makes me a little, yeah. People wake up in New York City and they find that the entirety of the city, like the buildings have all moved around. And it starts being a nightly thing that happens. The buildings just like move. And it is causing so much chaos because it's messing up power grids, it's messing up the water system, like all of the, like the infrastructure that you need for things to work in a city, like instant dystopian landscape. Our main characters are Esme and Arjun, and they are the emergency response team that is tasked with dealing with this. Why you would only have 2 people dealing with this, I don't know. That just, as a Floridian, that doesn't sound like enough people. But these 2 are dealing with this disaster on different levels as they have to deal with bureaucracy, rescues, and a mysterious cult as they try to hold the city together. Also releasing on June 3rd, we have Of Monsters and Mainframes by Barbara Truelove. This is another adult sci-fi, and it sounds like a really good time. If you haven't did the cover, oh, I should probably move over. I apologize to editing, Margaret, that I didn't think of this until right now. Now that I'm over to the side, please look at this cover. Does this cover not look like the most fun thing ever? Like, it looks like so much fun, and you're going, Margaret, why are there teeth? Well, I'm about to tell you. So our main character is Demeter. She's an AI that's in charge of a spaceship, and her main job is shuttling people between Earth and Alpha Centauri. I can talk. Demeter just wants to get people from one place to another, but her passengers keep dying. The reason that they are dying is because an ancient vampire has snuck onto the spaceship and is killing people off. Demeter ends up having to put together a motley crew to face down this motley stowaway. It is described as the queer love child of pulp horror and classic sci-fi, and those just sound like a good combination to me right now. The final book that we have releasing on June 3rd is A Forgery of Fate by Elizabeth Lim. This is a YA fantasy that is inspired by Beauty and the Beast. In this case, our Belle character is a con artist who is trying to provide for her mother and her sisters after her father's mysterious disappearance, and she agrees to a marriage with a dragon lord because he is willing to help out her family and may be able to lead her to some answers about what happened to her father. Now, this gets complicated when she ends up getting involved in his plot to take down the tyrannical Dragon King. I have read other books by Elizabeth Lim before and love them. I really enjoyed Spin the Dawn. I know that's a controversial take, but I enjoyed it personally, and so I'm really excited to see what she's going to do with this retelling as well. After that, we move to June 10th with The Witch Roads by Kate Elliott. This is adult fantasy. I've been wanting to get to a Kate Elliott book for a while now. I think I may own one. In this one, we have a deputy courier who finds herself unexpectedly having to play guide for an arrogant prince and his entourage after a tragedy has occurred. They didn't listen to her. She said, don't go there. They went there, and she's like, well, now I have to get everybody back safe. And the final book that we have for this one is coming out on June 17th, and that is Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. If you've been on this channel for a hot minute, you know that 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston made it to one of my favorite books of the year. I really enjoyed, like, the way she told that love story, and this one also sounds like it's going to be very enjoyable. In this, we have a creatively blocked singer that returns to her hometown to find that everything has changed. She was hoping that returning home would help those creative muscles get working again, but instead she finds herself struggling with a lyricless, half-formed melody. And then the real man attached to the voice in her head shows up in her town. Now they are both determined to work together and finish the song that is haunting them so that they can go their separate ways. Moving on to July, we're going to start with July 1st, and this book is potentially one of my most anticipated books of the year. There is going to be a whole fangirl moment attached, and that book is Tusk Love by Thea Guanz. This is about Oscar and Guinevere is a merchant's daughter. She is traveling. She's agreed to get married to someone that she doesn't love, and then her traveling thing is attacked by bandits, and she's saved by Oscar, who is very gruff and kind of like reticent, and they end up having to travel together because everyone else in her party is killed. It's just her and him, and so they're traveling together trying to get to their destination, and as they are traveling together, they end up falling in love. This will be like the first like Critical Role based novel that I have picked up, because like I feel like the ones that are about the characters, I feel like everything I need to know happens in the campaign, but like this is like this fun little like side thing that's attached to the campaign, and I just think it's going to be fun to read. Moving on to July 7th, we have The Undercutting of Rosie and Adam. This is another adult romantasy, and it is set in a world where the dead don't stay dead unless you like get to do certain things, like there are certain rituals that have to be followed, or they come back. This is the third book in that series. It starts out with The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, and I read that book this year and absolutely adored it. Now, I haven't looked at the synopsis of this one yet because I haven't read book 2 just yet, and like, I don't know, there might be developments that happen in the world in book 2 that could be spoiled in book 3, but the first book is like a grumpy sunshine, enemies to lovers romance, or these two people who just like do not like each other and have to begrudgingly work together, or have been for years, end up having to like actually work together and fall in love. And then the second one is like friends to lovers, and there are dragons involved. And if it sounds like I'm surprised by the fact that there are dragons involved, I don't remember there being dragons in the first book. I'm like questioning, did I miss something in the first book, or is this a new development? I don't know. We'll see when I read it. I do realize that by putting this on the list, I'm also committing to reading book 2 in a semi-timely fashion, but that's fine. Coming out on July 15th, we have The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. This is a cozy romantasy, and we're following Turlu, who is an ex-con. She got arrested because she like tried to make a plant sentient, and that's a big no-no in this magic world. She wakes up from her like punishment, which is to be a statue. She wakes up on this deserted island full of magical greenhouses. She's like, cool, this is better than where I was. It's just me as this gardener on this island. I can take care of these greenhouses. And then she finds out that the magic that is fueling them is starting to fail. She decides to team up with this gardener to save the island, even if that means that she breaks the law again. Coming out on July 22nd, we have Love is a War Song by Danica Nava. In this, we're starting out with Avery Fox, and she lands herself in hot water. She is a pop singer, and she poses scantily clad on the cover of a magazine wearing a war bonnet, and that makes quite a few people unhappy with her. And so she ends up going to her estranged grandmother's ranch to kind of hide away from the backlash and just ride that out. When she gets to the ranch, she finds herself at odds with Lucas Iron Eyes, who is the man that is in charge of running the ranch for her grandmother. Sounds like a little bit of a meet ugly, but they end up having to work together because the ranch is in danger of shutting down, and both of them want to save it. Finally, on July 29th, and I don't know why this is happening, but there are a lot of books on this list about singers, and I don't know if that says something about me or if that says something about what is coming out in publishing. Like, a few of these were books that were actually already on my TBR. We have August Lane by Regina Black. This is another adult romance, but in this case, instead of pop singers, we're dealing with a country singer. We have Luke Randall, who is a former country heartthrob that's a little bit not doing the greatest in his career right now, and gets an opportunity that requires him to go and make nice with his ex-lover, whose lyrics he stole for his most popular song. We also have August Lane, the woman that he stole those lyrics from. She's not particularly happy that he's opening for her mom's tour, but she does see this as an opportunity to blackmail him into working with her, helping her co-write a song, and letting her perform it with him so that she can kind of step out from underneath her mom's shadow. Finally, we move to August. Starting on August 5th, we have The Blonde Who Came In From the Cold by Allie Carter. This is another adult romance, and I will be fully honest, I only looked this synopsis up for you guys because if Allie Carter writes it, I will read it. We have a pair of ex-spies and ex-lovers that wake up bloodied, bruised, and handcuffed together. They have no idea how they got there or where they are. They just know that they're there together, and they have to figure out how to get out of this thing. Moving on to August 13th, we have A Theory in Dreaming by Ava Reed. This is YA Dark Academia. We are following Effie and Preston, our two main characters from the first book, after the fallout of the events in book 1. I don't remember much about what happened in book 1. I read it a couple of years ago. It was very similar in like theme and setting to Divine Rivals. I remember that because I felt like it did a lot of what Divine Rivals was trying to do a little bit better, but they're two academic rivals, and they go because they're studying a house, and some stuff happens that I can't tell you about, but we're following the fallout of that, and that's as much as I'm going to tell you because the synopsis of this book is a massive spoiler for book 1. No, seriously, don't look it up. Don't look it up. On August 19th, we have 2 books that are coming out. The first one is Fallen Gods by Rachel Van Dyken. This is an adult romantasy that is described as a steamy, dramatic myth retelling. Considering the plot and the love interest are kind of giving me Loki vibes, not surprised that it's dramatic. We have a museum curator that gets the opportunity of a lifetime, as well as the chance to get the answers to several personal questions. There's like a whole list of things that she is looking for, trying to find answers to, related to herself and her family. Now, when our protagonist Liv gets to this small Scandinavian town, she finds that nothing is as it seems, including her new boss. She's also finding that things that she's only ever read about are actually turning out to be real here. We also have Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. This is an adult fantasy, and in general, I like T. Kingfisher's works. This has me extra hyped though because it's giving me Nettle and Bone vibes, and I loved Nettle and Bone. Like, I just thought that they was such a clever, like, recreated fairy tale. We are following Anya, who is a healer that poisons herself in order to cure others. This gains her the attention of the king, whose daughter is dying. It sounds like she's not making a lot of progress, and then she discovers a secret world with a hidden magic. And so with the help of a taciturn guard, a cat, and a scientific method, she goes looking for answers. And the final book on this list, coming out August 26th, you probably guessed it was going to be on this list because everyone is talking about it, but it is Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. This is adult fantasy. We are dealing with academic rivals yet again, and they have to team up to save their advisor or bring their advisor back from hell so that they can get the recommendations that they need from him. If you read the synopsis, one of them is actually responsible for why he's dead in the first place, and that's gonna be fun to read. Then there you have it. That's 15 books that may not necessarily make it onto a TBR, but I am tasking myself with reading for the summer. If you've been following me as I'm paying myself to read books on my TBR, these books will get me $3. Depending on how well this goes, this may continue on for the fall video as well. Now, there were a lot of really good books, especially like fantasy and sci-fi books that I was interested in, but I didn't want us to be here for 6 hours, so I did limit myself to 5 books per month. If you think I missed anything, if you think there are any grievous errors here, please feel free to correct me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Also, if you're looking for another friend that likes talking about fantasy, science fiction, horror, or romance books, hit that subscribe button. That is it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye! If you are watching this right now and you don't see a fall releases video like in August, I want you to harass me on the social media platform of your choice until I make the video. I am here, I am making this video for accountability because I actually want to stay on top of these things. Will I regret asking you to do this? I don't know. We'll see. Oh, and we're falling. It's fine.